Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean, this is In The Mix, episode 59. We're getting towards the end of our first season of League 1 football and it's been a fantastic run so far. I'm kind of scratching my head at the moment because there was some stuff we did in the last episode. If you haven't gone and watched it, go and check it out. Where we made a couple of different tactical tweaks and whatever else. And I'm so angry at myself for not doing it like 6 months earlier because we have been in absolutely fantastic form since then. We're going to jump straight into the full game. I'll show you guys the results since that time. So, of course, in that last episode, 2 games, 1-1 draw against Notts County, which was a little bit disappointing, putting a streak together of 9 games without a win. And then a fantastic 2-1 win against top of the table at the time, Peterborough. A wonderful performance, Sam Taylor with a late goal there. We then played MK Dons, who had moved up into top spot, and through a Dwayne record goal in the 3rd minute, we took a 1-0 advantage. We had the majority of the possession, the majority of the chances. If I go and have a look at the stats from the game, we had more shots, more on target, more possession, all the great stuff that you would want to see a good team doing. We actually achieved against one of the better sides in the league. And then we had a fantastic 4-0 win against Burton. I said in the last episode, if we could make our mini target for the season, getting our goal difference back to a positive for the remaining games of the year, if we can, I thought it was kind of like a pipe dream, getting it down from -8. We're already at -2. So if we can turn that around in the last few games of this year, I will be absolutely thrilled with our second half performance and particularly our run home. The only tweak that we made, if you haven't watched yesterday's episode, is basically just putting everybody in their preferred positions and roles. So we haven't changed our shape, we haven't changed our instructions, anything like that. We've just changed individual player roles to be what's suited to the particular player. You can already see, spoilers, there's a few players suspended and out injured as well coming into these next few games against Forest Green, but it's really the only change that we've made. The other thing that I desperately want to do is have a look at some of these guys that we've had on loan this season, Kieran Johnson, Sean Waderman and Sam Taylor. Since we made this adjustment, both Johnson and Waderman have played fantastically well. So what we're going to do is we're just going to launch inquiries with their clubs. And hopefully in this episode, they'll come back to us. And if they give us a reasonable amount, we might potentially look at trying to bring them in during the off-season as well. Because they're all excellent players. They're all used to our shape, our structure, whatever else. And we'll keep an eye on that. We have also had a player go out. Serge Coulon left. I should have probably brought it up in the last episode, but he's gone to Swansea for 32k. We weren't using him. He was effectively like a 4th choice striker in our lineup. 2.5 star current ability, 4.5 star potential. He wasn't playing ahead of the 2 guys that we have at the moment, Record and Knowles, so it made sense to kind of move him on a little bit. Swansea were willing to pay for him. They're playing him at the moment at a championship level, which is absolutely insane. He's made 4 appearances for that side already since signing in January. Good return for us. He didn't cost us anything. We weren't paying a tremendous amount for him in wages. I think it's a good result to actually get him off the books and give ourselves some extra room to work with in terms of our wage budget and transfer budget as well. But more than enough talking from me. Let's jump forward to the game against Forest Green. We'll go through the couple of lineups here. Alright, and these is the 2 lineups as the teams have gone out. We've got Johnson in goal. Coates is coming in for the suspended Taylor. He'll play alongside McCluskey. He's a left-sided centre-back, so it's kind of a straight swap. Preston Kelly and Wright as the fullbacks. They have been pretty much consistently all season. Dean on the right wing. Over on the left wing, we do have an issue. Llewellyn's been out for ages and ages and ages with a broken ankle, and now we've also lost Sam Taylor with a broken toe for about 4 weeks. Williams cannot play this role, but we're going to put him across there. Winger on support. Usually a right winger. Hopefully he's got the individual traits and attributes to actually contribute in a positive manner. But really, that's just the scenario and situation that we've left in at the moment. Waderman has been fantastic over the last couple of weeks. He'll play as the advanced playmaker on attack, or Messiah on attack. And Robertson will anchor midfield as ball-winning midfielder. Knowles and Record up top, just in their preferred poacher and false 9 roles, respectively. And we're assertively going to say, we owe Forest Green after what happened in the last match. Let's go out and get a good result. So we are struggling a little bit in terms of getting players fit and out there on the park. But we should, if we're in decent form at the moment, which we're on the back of 3 wins, have enough about us at home to get a good result over Forest Green, who are down in 20th position and definitely still playing for their future in the league. This highlight from kickoff is continuing. Galloway with the ball at left back, sends Sargent down into the left wing. Got to get tighter to him, boys. McCluskey with a good challenge, but O'Rourke's going to get there again. And he's going to strike from a wide area. Coates gets it away. Galloway heads it back in. Asingani. Robertson recovers in possession. Looks towards Record, and the highlight thankfully comes to an end without us conceding. Throw in here for Johnson for Forest Green. He's very deep on the ball. I didn't go through their team at all. I got too distracted by what we were doing. Odia Dinma, who I think gave us issues last time we played them, on a decent run here. Squares it up to O'Rourke. Good tackle from McCluskey, but he loses out. Thankfully, O'Rourke's bending strike. Johnson was equal to it, saves and holds. Long ball forward towards Knowles. Is there anything left in this highlight here? We find Record now. Goes over the top towards Knowles, who's gotten goal side. Can he find the finish? He can indeed. 14th goal of the season for Daniel Knowles. Good little combination. There wasn't a tremendous amount going on other than the forward 2 getting into positive areas. Knowles finds Record here. He does quite well to hold possession up. then he must get a shout or something because he spins on the ball, hacks it over the top. Knowles with a lovely touch to bring it onto his right foot and smashes it back across the goalkeeper for an early advantage. 4 minutes in, and we're already a goal up. If we get another one, we're going to be back to 0 goal difference, which is absolutely mind-boggling. McGinley with the ball here. We've got an immediate highlight from the kickoff. And it's Forest Green in possession, all the way back to Southwood, the goalkeeper. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything crazy. Greaves, Mahoma. Not to be confused with Julius Maghoma. I think it's his brother, Paris. Ball over the top. Surely he's offside. O'Rourke with the strike, and I think it's going to get pulled back. It is indeed. Good save from Johnson. He didn't know. Record with a free kick from distance. Gets it on target, and Southwood gets there, but can't hold it. He can only put it out for a corner kick. Be interesting to see how these goes. Wademan's going to take it, which means we've got no one on top of the box. Bit of a concern. Usually Taylor would take those, but of course he's not on the pitch at the moment. Throw in here, Preston Kelly to take. Wademan with possession, reverse pass to Preston Kelly again. Tries to get a ball in that probably wasn't on. Coates is going to recover possession for us. Record with a good headed down, but it's intercepted by Onyedema. Crossfield switch towards Sargent, who has gotten goal side. This is a bit of a concern here. He's in a wide left area, gets the strike away. Johnson with a big hand pushes it around the far post. And Forest Green are definitely giving us issues. They're very quick to get out once they recover possession. Sheriff with a ball in, and Johnson thankfully comes out and claims with authority, ending that highlight. Got a highlight here. Magoma with a deep free kick in towards a good area. Coates with a header away. Aseganya recovers possession. Thankfully, we get it back through Wademan. Square ball to Robertson. If we look to the left, we've got men out here. We could try and launch a counter. Coates plays it forward to no one in particular. Knowles does a very good one-man press there to try and force him out towards left back. It's there now. McGinley with the ball over the top. O'Rourke has given us all kinds of issues. His flick on header to Asenganya. A good save from Johnson again. Johnson's having an excellent game. Let's use our demand more shout for the last few minutes, and let's just try and focus on keeping a clean sheet into the second half. 1 minute to be added on, and the referee calls halftime. 8 shots, 4 on target, 39% possession. They've had 9, 7, and 61. I'm going to do 2 things. First, tactically, we're going to switch to our positive mentality. It's exactly the same structure. We're just going to adjust a couple of these different player roles, player descriptions, based on what they want to be doing. Exception there, Clive Williams, because he is playing on the wrong side. Go into the dressing room now and say, let's just calmly say it. I'm happy with your performance so far. Keep it up. Everyone's responded positively, keeping that morale as high as humanly possible. And while, yes, Johnson has kept us in it, if we can get another goal here, I don't think Forest Green are going to have 2 in them in a half of football, but anything can happen. And we know Sports Interactive's definitely listening in and definitely hearing anything that I say and doing whatever with the match end despite me. Coates with a good header away there. Robertson picks up possession, looks for Record, long ball forward towards the left-hand side. Cycled back through Williams. Wademan was in the area, but we've given away possession. Greaves into Sheriff, now Makoma. Switch out towards the left to Sargent, who they do look for quite early and does dribble with authority as soon as he picks up possession, and thankfully his drive from the edge of the area just past the far post. Johnson with the ball now. Long ball forward, Asenganya. If he's onside, we've destroyed our own defensive line there. Johnson again with an excellent save, but that was pretty poor defending. Corner to be taken by Sheriff. Gets a ball in. Johnson comes out and claims very well. He's having a good game, is Johnson. Is that the end of the highlight, or is there going to be some more here? Throws it forward towards Dean, who can turn and go. He's got a bit of space in front of him. Wait for a midfielder to commit. Instead, he goes a long ball forward and Greaves with an intelligent header back to Southwood in the Forest Green goal. Is this highlight going to continue again? Long ball forward towards Sargent. He's skipped around the challenge, getting there first. Thankfully, that horrible shot from wide area has gone straight at the goalkeeper. Got a corner here, Dean to take. Short one to Williams. We've managed to cough up possession here to Onyedinma. Back to Magoma, square ball. Dean wins it back, squares it to Record, and he finds the finish. Dwayne Record with his 26th goal of the season. Dean did quite well there. We gave up possession a couple of different times. I think it was Williams that initially lost it, and then Magoma gets caught trying to hold the ball up. He should have just gone for the clearance, and Dean does very well to win possession back and plays a smart ball, squares it up towards the striker who finds the finish, and we get that second goal. All right, now we've got to try and shut up shop a little bit. So who's struggling and who's got yellow cards? Wademan's not had a great game. We'll bring on Oliver Munoz, who's not that suited to the attacking role, but we can use him as a supporting Messiah. Williams is struggling as well. I'm not quite sure what to do with this, so let's try something a little bit wild. Let's go to an attacking midfielder and let's bring on Jim Strain, who can play as a winger on support. Carl Robertson not having a great game. I'm going to hold on to the last sub. Let's see how we go and then see where we're at after that. And let's also use our Get Creative shout. Record with free kick. Plays it in towards Knowles, and it's an excellent header for Daniel Knowles, his second of the game. And another assist for Dwayne Record as well. He's kind of turning provider in the last few games. And that is another wonderful ball in. Wraps his left foot around it. Knowles does well to get up amongst a huge group of Forest Green players there. Heads it back across the goalkeeper. and we go 3-0 up and into positive goal difference for I think the first time since probably like September or October. We've got possession here again in this highlight. McCluskey with the ball. Long one forward towards record, but Greaves reads it well and plays forward. Fidello Rourke reverse pass to Andrews, and he gets the ball in, but another wonderful save from Johnson. We actually haven't conceded in a little while, which is famous last words. They're probably going to score here from this resulting corner. Sheriff with the ball in. Coates with a good header away. Dean should get there first. Anya Dinma, though, covers a lot of ground to get there before him. Dean with a poor challenge. It's given away a free kick in a wide area. Is that the end of the highlight? We're going to see some more. It's the end of the highlight. Let's use our get creative shout. Already gone through. Everyone seems confident and calm, which is great to see. Greaves with the ball forward here to Sheriff. A lot of highlights in this one early doors. Andrews switch out towards Sargent, who's been busy on this left-hand side. Hasn't come up with anything decent yet. And again, his drive from the wide area straight at Johnson in goal, who's having an excellent game. An 8.9 match rating for a keeper is very, very impressive. Into the last 10 minutes now, let's use our demand more shout. We've got one more sub up our sleeve as well. If anyone picks up a yellow card late, we'll make a sub just to take them off. 4 minutes to be added on here, but a 3-0 victory is going to be an excellent result for us and continues our little hot streak of form since we made that tactical tweak. 17 shots, 9 on target, 44% possession despite playing at home for us. They had 20, 12 and 56% of the ball. Let's just say, very happy with the result and the way that you played. Even if they had more of the ball, they kind of played into the way that we wanted to. I know we scored basically one from a set piece, another one from an error inside the 18-yard box, but still, we finished our chances. Knowles with a double and record an excellent performance with a goal and 2 assists. Knowles gets the man of the match award with a 9.2 match rating, and they're suggesting giving Kieran Preston Kelly a rest. We do have a good few days before the game against Rochdale. We're also going to lose a couple of players to international duty in that time as well. But let's praise Knowles' performance. Superb in front of goal last time out, and Birmingham boss Ian Holloway was there having a look at Daniel Knowles, who's apparently he's interested in. We actually haven't had that much interest from higher division sides for any of our players, but I guess we're getting towards the end of the season, end of contracts, all that sort of stuff. Given that we've got a lot of injuries, suspensions, all that sort of stuff, I'm just going to rest everybody for 3 days, and we've got a few guys going away to international duty as well, so we might have a little bit of a struggle heading into the game against Rochdale, but we'll go through the lineups, and we'll also come back and have a look at, once these inquiries go through to their clubs, see what each team wants for their particular players. Magic of editing, we'll jump forward to that now. Right, and just like that, we're a few days ahead. So we got all of our contracts back for like inquiries. They want 3.9 million for Sean Wademan, which we don't have, and we're not going to have for quite a while. So we haven't done anything in relation to that. Kieran Johnson's not for sale for any price, apparently, according to Chelsea, though his contract is up at the end of next season. We should also keep an eye on Sean Wademan as well. His contract is up at the end of this year, which is somewhat interesting. We may potentially look to sign him on a free transfer if they don't offer him a higher contract. He's on 2.5k a week, which we don't currently have within our room to move, but maybe if he gets released from that contract, we can try and pick him up. I think it's weird they're asking for so much when his contract's up at the end of the year, but maybe there's an additional clause they have where they can trigger additional time. And the other one, which is potentially within our range, 230k for Sam Taylor, but I'm umming and ahhing about it because effectively he's 20 years of age, which means he's going to be 21 soon. If he doesn't start hitting this 5-star ability, then I don't think he's necessarily going to reach that particular level, but we'll keep an eye on it. We're not in any rush. We do have all 3 of these players to the end of next season. And what I might do is wait until we actually we have a contract for a few years, but wait until we get what our transfer budget's going to be for next year. And if there's any increase to that and we do have any money, maybe Sam Taylor's someone that we look at for a high quality option on that left-hand side. As we look at kind of like the scouting report and a bunch of the different guys we've looked at that have contracts up at the end of the season, a lot of the guys that are left-hand sided midfielders aren't necessarily at his level already. But someone like Rafinha here, who for whatever reason is an English guy, he could potentially come in, and as we train him in that position, get him used to that role, get him used to that ability, kind of at 18 have 2 years further worth of development and get to a higher level than Sam Taylor is currently, if that makes sense. But again, that's dependent on his contract not getting renewed, him actually going to the free transfer market, him wanting to come to the club, and there's a couple other players here as well that are a little bit lower again that potentially we could bring in for less money at a younger age and get the best out of. So we've got a couple of different options that we're going to look at, and we'll kind of weigh up the pros and cons around putting a bid in for Sam Taylor and if we can actually get him within our existing wage and transfer budget structure. As far as the team goes, we've got quite a few different players out at the moment. So you can see we've got Kieran Johnson away on international duty, so Dylan Price is going to come in and play in goal. We've got Preston Kelly away on international duty. We've got Angelo away on international duty, so Coates is going to do a job for us at left back in this game. We're currently without Taylor as well, who's suspended, so we're going to have Judge and McCluskey as the 2 other defenders there. We'll get Judge across in the right role. Lewis Wright can play a right back, which is good. I think at the moment Barnes is away with the Australian under-23 teams, which isn't good. Robertson can start because he's played the majority of the games at the moment. Waderman is suspended, so we'll bring on Munoz to play as a Messiah on attack because he can actually do it. Still struggling a little bit in the wide left area, so we're going to play Williams at left wing. We got through it in the last game. Hopefully we can kind of patchwork Quilter side together and make it work in this one. Ricky Dean's been excellent over last month, had a wonderful game a couple of games ago as well against Burton. He'll play on the right-hand side. As far as the front two go, Knowles is available, thankfully, so he'll play as the false nine, and Record as well available. He'll play as the poacher. Who does that give us on the bench? We've got a couple of different goalkeepers, just randoms that we can throw on there. We might as well just put on everyone that's actually available for this game and have a look at what the damage is like to the actual team itself. We can get Lewington on there, but it's probably not advised. He's still working his way back from his broken ankle and still just going through light training at the moment, so we don't want to rush that one. And I've already told him his contract's not getting renewed, so what we will do is go and change a couple of these roles based on who's now going to be playing. We're going to put Coates to be a fullback on defend just to do him a bit of a favour, given he's filling in. Price can play as a sweeper keeper on defend. Wright doesn't have a preferred role, and otherwise I think we should be relatively good to go. We're in good form. We're put a decent little run of results together here. We're climbing our way up the table. Rochdale are still down in 18th spot, currently clear of relegation, but I'm sure they're desperate to get 3 points and get a good result to carry them through. They've got a couple of good players here. They've got Zach Durnley on the left-hand side, a wonderful player if you can pick him up from your saves. He gets released from the Manchester United Academy, I think, in Season 1. Excellent natural fitness, can play on both sides, just a wonderful winger if you have the ability to pick him up in your saves. They've got Donnelly up top, their leading scorer, looks to be fairly solid, 19-year-old, come through their youth academy. 11 goals in 40 appearances isn't bad for a teenage player. 16 balance, the only one that's jumping out at me there. Good determination, good flair. He might be a solid option. Who's got the armband for them? Durnley's their current leading assist maker, and their keeper, Tommy Donnelly, I don't know if he's any relation, has also come through their youth academy and is playing first team football. So looks like they're kind of encouraging their own youth to actually come through and giving them first team opportunities, which is always interesting to see. We're going to calmly tell everyone, oh no, let's just say, great opportunity to show the pundits they're right to back you up. And we're in an excellent little run of form here. So if we can continue it in this match and take it into our last 4 games of the season and a big season finale tomorrow, I think we're going to be in a great spot. Donnelly's gotten him behind early, and thankfully he's gone for pace instead of power and smashed that one past the far post when really all he had to do was find the target and we'd have been in some trouble. Throw in here, first highlight, we've started with the ball. Munoz with possession, looks for Robertson back through midfield. Judge plays it out left towards Williams, it's cut out by Morning, who's bursting forward. Someone's got to get to the ball. Coates is caught in the middle of nowhere here. Morning gets into the box, Judge with a good tackle, and it's pinballing around. Price with a good save. Back to Morning again, across to May. Price again with a wonderful save, and Wright thankfully hooks the ball away from him. So Dylan Price hasn't played a tremendous amount of football, but he's keeping us in it here at the early stages. Ball pinballing around here, Dean with the ball. It's going to come out to Lewis Wright. Looks for the switch towards Williams. Can he get the ball back on his right foot? Finds Record, and Record with the finish. 27th goal of the season for him. And the big thing about Dwayne Record, and the big advantage we've had by playing him this season, is that he just finishes his chances. He might only get one a game, but he's kind of like a Van Nistelrooy type. He only needs one to find the back of the net. Doesn't waste a lot of opportunities. Good finish there. Gets it on his favoured left foot. Smashes it past the on-rushing keeper. And perhaps a little bit against the run of play, we've taken a 1-goal advantage 20 minutes in. Throw in here for Rochdale. Pittman into Black. We've closed the ball down well, and Knowles is going to get there first on the rebound. Burst towards the box. He's got players around him. He plays out to Ricky Dean now. Can he find a good ball in the box? Pinballs around. It finds Knowles, and eventually he scrambles at home. I think it was Record with the initial shot. Closed down by the Rochdale defence. It falls to Daniel Knowles, and we'll see if this was on his left or right foot, but he's managed to find a little near post angle there to work a shot on target. It was actually Sims tackled the ball to get it out to Dean. Good ball in, Record with the strike, and then Knowles on his left peg had the tiniest little window there inside the front post, and he smashes it home to give us a 2-0 advantage on half an hour. Throw in here, right to take, across to Robertson, back through McCluskey. He can work the ball forward, finds Munoz now. Record out to Williams. Gets it back in towards Record. He's managed to clip the post before Sims hacks it away. We're starting to get into the ascendancy here. We're seeing a good little run of highlights. The stats are starting to catch up our way. And at halftime, they've had 4 shots, 3 on target, 39% possession. They put us under a little bit of pressure in the first 10-15. We've had 10 shots, 4 on target, 61% of the ball. But most importantly, we have a 2-0 lead to defend. Assertively, I'm going to say very pleased with your performance. Keep it going, lads. And what I'm also going to do is drop us back to our positive mentality. Just play a little bit deeper than what we have been. And we might also just revert those playing roles as well. So Keith Coates can play as a fullback on defend, and the rest should all be fine. As always, we'll give it 15 minutes. Wait until about the hour mark before we look at subs, form, fitness, yellow cards, all that sort of stuff, and we'll see who we're going to change out. Right, we've rocketed through to that hour mark. So Carl Robertson's picked up a yellow. We're going to take him off. We'll give Max Brown some time, who can play as a central midfielder on defence, so still a defensive position, which is cool. As far as match ratings go, Ricky Dean hasn't had the greatest game, but I'm going to leave him out there. We don't want to risk Paul Lewington for no reason. Mark Birch, Keith Coates, there's a few players here. We'll probably hold off on the next sub and potentially look at making that change in the last 10 minutes or so. Front two are playing well, but I'd like to give Mark Birch some time as well. Assertively, I have faith in you. Get out there, make a difference. And let's also... I think I've accidentally just hit cancel. Let's let this highlight play out, and then I'll do those 2 subs again. Record with the ball in, gets a good strike on it, but it was always a little bit too far. So we're going to take off Robertson again. I very rarely accidentally hit that cancel button, but it's happened in this episode. Of course, when I'm recording, do something dumb, you guys are going to get to see it. Ricky Dean, not playing that well. What I might do is I'm going to take off Daniel Knowles, and we'll put Mark Birch on as an advanced forward. Just some fresh legs to try and give Rochdale something different to deal with. Let's passionately say I have faith in you, and let's also use our Get Creative shout. Hold on to that last sub. They've got a corner immediately. Donnelly to take. Coates with a good header away. He's good out of the areas, Coates. Ball back into Donnelly again. He gets to the byline. He gets the strike away. He managed to clip the post before we hack it clear. And the highlight comes to an end. Thrown here, deep on the left-hand side. Coates goes forward to Williams. There's no one near him. Plays a long ball forward that was never really on. And pretty much just gave possession back to Rochdale. Orman with the ball now. In midfield. Good switch out towards Pittman, the overlapping fullback. Right, looks for the switch. Coates with a good header again. Excellent read of the play. And gets the ball away. Back to Armand in the Rochdale midfield. Looks for Pittman, who stayed further forward. Coates with a good header again. Flynn to Black. Burst, a good strike, actually, just whizzing past the far post there. Didn't get tight enough to him quick enough, and he managed to pick out the strike. 10 minutes remaining. They're definitely giving us a couple of issues in these highlights that we're seeing, but statistically, we are still on top. We used our demand more shout for the last 10 minutes, and really, if this game just plays out the way it is, I'm absolutely fine with it. 3 minutes to be added on here, and we're through that now. The referee calls full time. 12 shots, 6 on target, 43% possession for Rochdale, which doesn't tell the whole story. They did have a couple of good opportunities. 15 shots, 5 on target, and 57% possession. We're going to assertively tell everyone, very pleased with the result and your performance. We are on a hell of a run at the moment. Let's go quickly look at our schedule first. Since we made that tactical tweak in the last episode, we've won every game. We've conceded 1 goal in that time, and we've scored 3, 7, 10, 12 goals. 12 goals to 1 unanswered, which is absolutely mind-boggling. Why didn't I make that decision at the start of January when we went into the new year to try and do that? Who knows how our season would have gone had I done it a little bit early. And it sets us up in a fantastic little run here at home. We've got Shrewsbury, who are in 23rd, Wimbledon, who are in 13th, QPR, who are in 21st, and Mansfield, who are in 12th. Whisper it quietly, don't tell anybody, don't say this out loud, but we could maybe get maximum points in those games. And then we get into this really interesting scenario now where we're on 59 points and the team in 6th, MK Dons, is on 64 points. We're not miles away from potentially somehow, miraculously, with 10 games remaining, squeaking our way into the playoffs. But let's not talk about that. Let's just get through tomorrow's episode. We'll review, we'll have a look at what the situation is for the end of the games, or for the last 2 games of the season, and we'll keep an eye on other results as they carry on as well. Quality possession provides the victory in that one. Dwayne Record gets the Man of the Match award for his excellent, well-taken goal. Let's give him a bit of praise as well, and he's been fantastic for us this year. Thank God we've got him on a long-term deal. Still only 18. I think he's definitely going to get towards that 5-star ability sooner rather than later. I won't change anything. I'm not going to do anything crazy. We'll still do that Shrewsbury game and that Wimbledon game off screen. We'll try and continue our good run of form. We'll come back and we'll do tomorrow for the final episode of the week, QPR, who are currently in 21st, and Mansfield to finish off the year. If we win the next 2 games, who knows what's going to happen. We're not going to talk about it though. We'll deal with it in the next episode and we'll let things play out. I said top 10 finish was our target. If we get top 10 finish, I'll be absolutely thrilled with that. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the portion that I appreciate the most. We've had great engagement with viewers, the community, putting stuff in the comment section below. Let me know what saves you're doing. Let me know if you're enjoying the game. Let me know if you're one of the people that actually played the free week and then purchased the game for themselves. I'm really interested to see what people have made of it and how many people have actually continued on as like full-time users of the game. And of course, keep me up to date on your own saves, because I do love to see all the different content and different saves out there in the community. But more than anything, thank you so much for watching. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you guys again in the mixer.